ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap yourselves in for this one because this video, honestly, I just don't even know how to begin this one. I really don't because we have another example of a white liberal writer in the entertainment space deciding to take it upon themselves to tell other people to be perfectly fine with the forced fake diversity that is constantly shoved down our throats in an effort to shield themselves from any claims of racism against them. This is honestly a trend that's becoming a little bit annoying, to be honest with you, and it's just another example. So we have an article from Wargamer. Never heard of this place before, honestly, but as I start to look through it, I notice a trend through Wargamer, and especially this particular writer. Now, the headline for this, you guys can see, is going to be a catchy one. It says, Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings Aragorn is black. Please get over it. It says, if you're seriously upset that Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings Aragorn is black instead of white, then you need to be asking yourself some hard questions. Now, if you guys did not see this image, we showcased this on Saturday Night Hypnosis, and it's just a hilarious image to me because this is supposed to be Aragorn. Now, everybody knows what Aragorn looks like because Aragorn is heavily described in the books, just like basically every other character that Tolkien has ever written, because Tolkien was very descriptive in the characters that he made. But the disrespect doesn't just end here. Now, the funny thing is, this article, okay, let's talk about the people who write articles like this, right? So this one in particular comes to us from Matt Basil. I'm assuming that's how you say your name, Mr. Matt Basil. Now, you can tell from his profile picture that is an emoji-style animation that he is most likely a white male. But of course, you know Hypnotic had to go check and double-check and triple-check to make sure before we start talking our shit. And apparently, this is the man that is telling you that you need to be okay with forced diversity. He is telling you, this ultra white dude is telling all you black people out there, all you Hispanic people out there, including myself, all of you out there, that you need to be okay with bullshit fake diversity. And if you're not okay, then you need to be asking yourself some questions. This particular person here is perfectly okay with thinking in his own mindset that it's impossible for any black person or Hispanic person or Asian person to disagree with his notion because he is your white savior and he is going to come to your rescue. I fucking hate these kind of people who always want to come out and try to pretend as if they're on the moral side of justice when the hilarious thing is they don't realize the racist tendencies that is going on in their own particular argument. Now let's get into his article so we can kind of tear it apart and talk about his bullshit. So it says, The Lord of the Rings, though widely and rightly considered one of the greatest fantasy stories of all time, because it is, doesn't do so great on the whole diversity thing. In fact, pretty much the only non-white characters in the books are the evil Haradrim elephant riders, leaving aside deeper, more probing questions into the series' philosophy on race. This clearly presents a problem for a company like Wizards of the Coast when it comes to creating the Magic of the Gathering Lord of the Rings set. So I'm sorry, is the Wizard of the Coast, are they a political company? Are they a social justice company? Or are they making cards based off of certain IPs, like Lord of the Rings? To my knowledge, they were a card-making company, or just like games like that in general, cards, trading card games, board games, whatever. To my knowledge, that's what they were. They weren't a political-based company. So for you to say that the lack of diversity in the Lord of the Rings is going to create a problem for Magic the Gathering, why would that be? Why would that be? Why would that create a problem? All they have to do is adapt the IP. That's what they're doing. They're taking that IP and creating cards based off of the world and the lore in that IP. So I don't understand why that would create a problem unless, of course, they have a political agenda, which is something you say they don't have, that they're just sticking to diversity because that's the right thing to do. Okay, so if that's the case, it doesn't really matter because this particular story wasn't diverse, right? It was mainly white people because it was based on European lore. So why does it have to be diverse? It didn't have to be. You have other IPs that you can make diverse. If you wanted to make all the black characters in the world, you could have made, like you said, Haradrim people, but you didn't want to do that. Why? Why is that? It's because you wanted black people to see themselves in a white man wearing a black face. That's ultimately what it is. And I took that comment from a fellow watcher on Saturday Night Hypnosis, where he said all these white people are telling you that you need to be okay and with seeing yourself in a white man wearing a black face, because this is what this is. This is a white character wearing a black face. That's ultimately what it is for diversity's sake. But let's continue reading what Mr. Basil has to say. So it says, Wizards has made plain its commitment to diversity and done an increasingly good job representing a wide variety of different kinds of people on Magic the Gathering cards, though cool characters like Kaya, Teferi, Narset, and Alicia, and so it shouldn't surprise anyone that Magic the Gathering's interpretation of The Lord of the Rings has a good deal more diversity than most versions of the franchise. In particular, one of the most well-known heroes, Aragorn, is depicted as a black man. Again, you're talking you live your entire life through the guise of race, right? Which is interesting because it's always people that look like this. They want to tell you that you're racist if you don't like the fake diversity that they come up with or the fake diversity that they shill for. That's what they want to tell you. They want to tell you that you should be perfectly happy seeing this shit. A white man wearing a blackface. You want to be perfectly happy seeing this shit instead of having your own original characters and your own original IPs and stories. No, because that's not the thing. They know that they only see validity in white characters. These people who look like this only see validity in the white characters that were created in the past, present, and future. So all they see in terms of diversity is the laziest form of it. Let's take a white character, a notorious white character, let's make it dark skinned, and let's claim diversity. Look how diverse and woke we are. This is fantastic. It says, but just like when Amazon's Rings of Power show dared to present viewers with a black hobbit, a rotten subsection of so-called fans are raising a big stink about this. Comments on the recent Magic livestream where the card was revealed were particularly poisonous, and mods on the Magic the Gathering subreddit soon locked the card's thread because productive discussion largely ain't happening. Well, that's the thing. When you purposely make stuff like this that you know is going to piss off the true fans of Lord of the Rings, why would you do it? Why would you do it? Because you know it's going to get you the headlines. You know it's going to get you the clicks, and you are a political company. That's what you are. Magic the Gathering has now decided to become a political-based company. They are not in it just for the sake of the games. They are in it, or the stories for that matter, they are in it for politics. They are in it for identity politics in particular. It says, obviously, it's really depressing to see such predictable racism rearing its head in the Magic the Gathering community. But is it really? Is it really that depressing, though? Is it really, especially to you, Mr. Matt Basil, who looks like this? Is it really that depressing? Let's talk. Let's continue to talk. Especially given the inroads into inclusivity Wizards seems to have been making. It also been cathartic to see big Magic content creators respond to the outrage and fragility with mockery and a verbal middle finger. Yet so many of those making RC comments shirk away from the R accusation, seeking out a more palatable excuse instead. Well, no, it's not an excuse, Mr. Matt Basil, and you know it's not an excuse. That's the funny thing. People like Matt Basil know that this is not an excuse, but they want to justify their argument by downplaying yours. So they think by throwing out the R word, as he says, which is fucking racism, since you can't say it for some reason in this particular section, you think that by throwing out the word racism, that's automatically going to downplay the person's argument, but it doesn't. You are trying to convince people to be okay with lazy diversity. It seems like most of the complainers allege that they just want the cards to be accurate and true to Tolkien's vision. Well, that's how we want all of Tolkien's stuff to be. Tolkien's stuff should not be messed with. He was very much against people messing with his product. He did not even like fan fiction. So why would you think he would be perfectly fine with this? And then he goes on to say, pulling up quotes to show how Aragorn and others are described in the books. Obviously, I'm highly skeptical of this. I think this reasoning is generally just a fig leaf, poorly disguising the uglier true intent behind the outrage. And that is an amazing comment to me, Mr. Matt Basil, because I believe, me personally, that people like you are hiding your true intents by constantly shilling for diversity. You are trying to do woke identity politics because you feel like that's going to protect you from possible cancellation or any kind of mob coming after you. I highly doubt you live a very diversified life in your own personal life, Mr. Matt Basil. I would be highly surprised if you even surround yourself with a black person or even live in a neighborhood that has black people. I would be heavily surprised. And even if you did, I would highly doubt that that's going to change your mindset regarding what seems to be your stance that white people have all this representation, all of this control over everything, and that the black man needs to take their sloppy seconds, or the Hispanic man needs to take their sloppy seconds by having a white dude wear blackface, essentially. That's what you're telling them to do. We're not worth our own IPs. We're not worth our own stories, that we have to have the valid white characters. That's how this person feels. It says, but it's not just a bad faith excuse, and you're genuinely upset about Aragorn being black instead of white on a Magic the Gathering card, then you really need to think long and hard about where those feelings are coming from. No one likes to hear that they're racist, so I'll be kind and do this gently. Well, before you be kind and do this gently, because you're actually pretty fucking retarded, let's make one thing very clear. You like to say that people need to think long and hard about where their feelings are coming from because they don't like seeing Aragorn go from white to black, but I think you need to think long and hard about where your feelings are coming from if you think that people cannot enjoy a story or see themselves in a character simply because the skin color does not match. I think you need to sit down and really think about where those feelings are coming from, Mr. Matt Basil, because I have a feeling that they're coming from an extremely racist standpoint. But it says, first of all, yes, Tolkien, when writing, almost certainly imagined Aragorn as white. But so what? Do you really think future interpretations of a work have to be exactly identical to past ones? Of course they don't. Well, that might be true to some extent, but when it comes to a story like Lord of the Rings, there's a reason why there are certain stories that become classics, right? There's a subsection of category called classics, and those classics are classics for a reason. They are amazing pieces of fiction that deserve to be stuck to 100% as much as possible. If you change any of that, especially to such an extreme degree, then yes, that is a problem. It says stories shouldn't be frozen, fixed, unchanging, and dead. Yes, they should. Some of them should. That's why they're called classics. If people are going to keep making Lord of the Rings content, they should try doing different things with it. Or what is the point? You already know the story. Why would you want a new but identical copy? Well, that's because you don't have to do the same exact thing. You don't have to tell the same story of the Third Age. You can explore the Second Age. You can explore the First Age. You can even make up shit in the Fourth Age, which doesn't have a lot of context in the book. So if you want to make up shit, you're more than welcome to in the Fourth Age. Go for it. Have fun. Slay, queen. But the reason why you don't is because there is no clout in any of those. The clout online and the clout in the public eye is in the Third Age and the story of Frodo and his journey with the One Ring. And you know this. That's why you want to change the characters that are in that particular subsection of Tolkien's text, because that's where all the popularity is at. It says the very best stories inspire people to retell them in different ways. Are you sure about that? I highly doubt that. And put their own spin on things or inject their own lived experiences. I highly doubt that too. Today, you'll rarely find a Shakespeare play that's played straight. Instead, you get Hamlet during a modern military dictatorship, or Julius Caesar in The Blitz, or an American Horror-style retelling of Macbeth. It doesn't always work, but it's a hell of a lot more interesting than endless reruns. In this case, if making the Lord of the Rings characters more diverse can help people more identify with them and see themselves in these great stories, can't that only be a good thing? Shut the fuck up, dude. Oh my fuck. I swear to God, these people who look like this, love to tell people that, oh, now you can finally see yourself, little black kid. I know you couldn't see yourself before, but now you can see yourself now. Isn't that amazing? That is so insulting to a non-white person to tell them that, oh, us white people think that you couldn't possibly connect with any character that's ever existed before because you couldn't see yourself, because you're so simple-minded that the only thing that you could possibly connect with is your skin color, because that's all you are. You are a black man, and that's everything you'll ever be. So unless you see a character that looks exactly like you, there's no way you can connect with them, and that's it. You know how insulting that is? That is absolutely fucking insane to me. It says, being as charitable as humanly possible, I know nerds hate the things that are nerdy about changing from the way they first formed a connection with them. I know this. I watched Games of Thrones after reading the books, and at first squirmed over every event that I knew didn't happen quite like that. Major alterations and retellings of stories you love can be jarring, can take getting used to, can provoke a knee-jerk response. However, a character having a different skin color to the one you imagine is not a major alteration to the Lord of the Rings. Whoa! Time. You are factually incorrect right here. You said, however, a character having a different skin color to the one you imagined is not a major alteration. Time out, bro. It's not one that I imagine. It's one that Tolkien heavily described in his text. So it's not that I'm imagining it and making it up in my mind and saying, oh yeah, Aragorn was a white guy because I wanted him to be white. No, Tolkien explained it in his text and literally told you that he is fair of skin. He is white. He is a white dude. There is not a lick of black in him whatsoever. The man is not a black man, ultimately. And you trying to pretend as if we're making that shit up is hilarious. And then you try to say it's a very minor one. So frankly, it's rather strange to be this upset about a fictional character's appearance getting a reinterpretation when everything else about their person, their personality, and their role in the story seems to be exactly the same. That is also factually incorrect. If you change the skin color of a character, that means you are changing his entire background, his backstory, right? So if you're making a card that showcases a black Aragorn, what about his lineage? Does that mean that everybody in his lineage is also black? I'm very curious about that. You didn't want to go that far, though. See, that takes work. That takes effort. That takes, like, understanding to try to make some sort of backstory, to make up some shit as to why Aragorn all of a sudden is a black man. When in Tolkien's text, he says that most of the people who are dark-skinned are part of the Haradrim, right? So if you are trying to showcase him as a black male, it raises a lot of questions to his backstory. It raises a lot of questions to his origin, of which you're not even going to touch on in this card game. So with that being said, yes, it does change this character completely. It's not just about his actual appearance. And then on top of that, wow, this video is long, but this motherfucker has me pissed off. The funny thing is, you are one of those people, again, these are the same people that will want to tell you, oh, why are you getting so mad over a fictional character? It doesn't matter. It's not that serious. Changing his skin color doesn't mean anything. Okay, well, let's turn the argument around. If that's the case, if it's a fictional character and it doesn't matter, why do you constantly have to tell people they need to see themselves in it in order for them to connect with the character? If the character doesn't matter, then changing his skin color from white to black shouldn't mean anything. You shouldn't need to have that level of diversity if that's the case, because ultimately none of it matters. But it mattered enough to you to have to race swap them. It mattered enough to you to have to tell other black people that, hey, buddy, take our white sloppy seconds. Now you can finally see yourself. Go have at it, you simple-minded fuck. Like, that mattered enough to you. That mattered enough to you to do. But clearly, whenever we say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that because you are basically fundamentally changing the character, his origin, his backstory, now you want to tell us, oh, it's a fictional character. It doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. Either it matters or it doesn't matter. Then he says, Wizard isn't reinventing the series, so if you're dismayed, I think you ought to ask yourself why. But they are. When, again, let's repeat ourselves. When you change a character like Aragorn from white, hardcore white, to hardcore black, when there are black characters in the story and there's a reason why they are black in a certain area of the actual geographical map, you are raising questions as to his origin. His origin is obviously different. It's obviously different. His entire lineage is different. So now you have to raise a whole bunch of questions as to why that is and where did he come from. And then he says, and guess what? If your favorite Aragorn looks exactly like Viggo Mortensen, he was very dreamy. Okay, you're gay, so who gives a fuck? If you honestly find yourself alienated by just a handful of Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings characters that aren't white, then it doesn't prove the value of diversity. If characters not looking like you upsets you, can you not empathize with those who normally have to experience a Lord of the Rings where no one looks like them? I don't, because there is so many people. Okay, Lord of the Rings is one of the most, it is the book, right? Aside from the Bible, you have Lord of the Rings, one of the most printed books of all time, literally, with so many different variations and so many different languages. The fact is, there are so many people all over the world that have seen themselves in these books, that have loved these books, have enjoyed the story, and never once thought about race until a simple-minded fuck like you, Matt Basil, wanted to come out and say, well, there's no way these black people can ever connect with this book. There's no black characters. How can they ever connect with them? We need to change this, because without us to save the black people, there's no way they're ever going to see themselves. We need to do it. We are the saviors. We're definitely, we have our white privilege. Let's use our superiority in our race to try to help these little black kids who never saw themselves in a Lord of the Rings book because there was never a black character in there that was prominent, aside from, the Haradrim, which never really had a prominent character to begin with that most people actually know about. I swear to God, people like this are so fucking stupid, unbelievably stupid. They really think they're doing something. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I will gladly go tell this man, who I somehow have more followers than him on Twitter, to go fuck himself. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.